Music theory has never been very precise with its terminology. But when it comes to one of the most important terms, practically all systems cause confusion, and so thoroughly that students, especially in ear training, don't know what to do to make progress, and their teachers don't even realize why they are so confused. We will clarify which term causes so much confusion in a moment. To make this really clear, however, we first need to take a little detour into linguistics. Ready? Some words have multiple meanings. The most popular example is bank. A bank can refer to something you can sit on in a park or a financial institution. In linguistic philosophy, one would say that the scope of the term is vague, as is most of colloquial language, where the aim is not to create precision, but simply to enable communication. In this context, "I'm cold" can also simply mean, "Can someone please close the window?" And everyone understands it. Words with multiple meanings are called homonyms. The most popular, but actually incorrect, example is bank. Why is it incorrect? We'll explain at the end of this video. Incidentally, one could argue that homonym itself is a homonym. This is because it refers to words that have different meanings as well as words that sound the same, but are spelled differently, such as plain and plain or male and male. The meanings of homonyms have no linguistic connection and no common origin. However, there are also words with multiple meanings that have a common root. Such homonyms are called polysemes. There are numerous examples in English. Take the verb to get, for example. It can mean to buy, to obtain, to bring something back, and much more. But what do these terms have to do with music theory? As we will see in a moment, they are the source of confusion that, tragically, most people don't even recognize. The terms used in music theory should have unambiguous references as far as possible. But they don't. This is particularly true of a term that we would not expect to be problematic. The term in question is interval. What many people don't realize is that it is a polyseme. Let's try to define its sense. An interval is the difference in frequency between two tones. For example, the interval defined by the pair 440 and 880 Hz is an octave. Now, such definitions are problematic from a philosophical point of view. As the philosopher Willard Quine has shown, they lead to intentional swamps. We do not want to go into this in more detail. It is clearer to define the term unambiguously with the help of its scope of validity. The term interval thus covers the following musical objects: prime, minor and major second, minor and major third, fourth, tritone, fifth, minor and major sixth, minor and major seventh, octave, and all pairs that comprise these intervals plus one or more octaves. In ear training, we then learn to recognize intervals. This, a major third. This, a minor seventh. This, a tritone. This, a minor ninth, i.e., a minor second plus an octave. All well and good. Unfortunately, however, we also refer to the steps of a scale as intervals: the root, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the octave. If, for example, we form a dominant seventh chord, we stack the third, fifth, and minor seventh of a Mixolydian scale on top of each other, whereby, according to the definition of the interval as the distance between two notes, we always calculate the distance to the root. Confusion arises when we form a chord inversion, for example. We still refer to the third, fifth, and seventh of the chord, but we cannot find an interval in the first sense of the term seventh. The so-called seventh in the first inversion merely forms a tritone, a minor third, and a major second with the other notes. What is our conclusion? There are two different meanings of the term interval. Interval A refers to the frequency distance between two notes. Interval B refers to the degree in a scale. These are two phenomena that are different in terms of perception, but have a common semantic root. A note: the vast majority of musicians identify intervals in the form of interval B, i.e., as steps in a scale. This is the more stable property than interval A. The step is always audible, the frequency difference is not. And the bank? Believe it or not, historically there is a connection between seating and financial institutions. In medieval Italy, money changers and moneylenders actually conducted their business across a table. If they became insolvent, this bank was then broken up. This process is still reflected today in the term bankruptcy. So, strictly speaking, bank is a polysemy. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel. At academia-larty.org, you will also find a knowledge database and online courses from our academy. And check out the other videos here on YouTube. Thank you for your interest.